here this morning. Thank you, church, for having me. I'm humbled in the presence of God. Because our Father is great. Because He is in the house this morning. He has kept us from January to October. Daddy, you are great for the past. You are great for the healing in the house. You are great for the every second. We exalt you this morning. We want no worthy to be praised. You are the end that's above every other. Father, we bless you. Thank you, Jesus. That is speak to me this morning. I hide myself behind the cross of Calvary. That in none of me go hug of you. In the mighty name of Jesus. And as you speak to us this day, O Lord, let all the glory, let all the honor and adoration be unto you, Almighty God, the author and the finisher of our faith. Jesus, precious mighty name we have worshipped. Praise the Lord! Thank you, church. Please let me have a seat. That was powerful. My time is not too much to be here this morning, but I titled my little speech this morning is In My Father's House. In My Father's House. Can we just open our Bible quickly to John 14:2? In my Father's house. John 14:2. I think I have it here. Jesus said, I would have told you, I go to prepare a place for you. That is what the Lord says. And if I go and I prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you to myself. That where I am, there you will be also. And where I go, there you know the way that I go. I don't know the version that you have, but that is my version. Thank you, Almighty God. We worship you in my Father's house. So if I give you the text for my of today is from the book of John 14, 1, and maybe to the end, but we are going to be picking some verses that is going to talk to us in my Father's house. In that passage, we can read so many things. He said, in my Father's house are many mansions. If it was not so, I wouldn't have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. Then I asked this question, that what is the mansion? Because it came out of that passage. He said it's a big house to us. It's a place of abode, a place where people live, a dwelling place with so many rooms. So we see people that you see a very big house. You say, oh, that was a big mansion, very, very big place. And again, in that text, something came out again. Father's house. What is Jesus saying when he says Father's house? Jesus is referring to the mansions. He's referring to a place for God. And according to Seedbed, says it means the place or places where God's presence is manifest. So in God's house, it is dwelling place. God's presence is manifest. So this means that the dwelling place of God can be on earth and it can also be in heaven. Because literally, if you take this passage, when I was growing up, once they mentioned this passage, all we are looking into is heaven. We've forgotten that we're already here. We are living here. And not heaven is our goal. But what happens in our present time? So God is a spirit living in us. It means we are the dwelling place of God. We are the Father's temple. We are the gods. Putting it back that here, is a Father's house. Here, He's the dwelling place of God. And we are our Father's house. We are the dwelling place of God. So what should we do to find, and what those things that we will not find in my Father's house? If we know that this is God's house, what are those things we will not find in our Father's house? I mentioned sin, which includes so many things, such as gossip, judging, quarreling, divisiveness, jealousy, and so many others. A writer says, Christians are good with morals. They detest and quickly can point out immoralities. They get sins. They put in a kind of a mail of it. But there are some sins, just like I've mentioned, like judging, gossiping, divisiveness, quarreling, jealousy, are among the sins that Christians, you and me, routinely ignore. Why do we do so? Somebody answered. He went further to answer. He said, because we commit them. They are little in our eyes. But those big ones, he said, because we judge sins, they are little. But this morning, because we are not perfect, but for the grace of the cross of Calvary, we are not consumed. But for grace, there's a song that says, for God's grace, we are not consumed. And it says, towards the end, I am forever grateful. So this morning we are grateful for the grace upon the cross of Calvary that make us to be able to be in our Father's house, that make us to be His dwelling place. So this is not where I'm focusing this morning. I am not talking about sin. There are so many preachers that talk about that. But I want us to know that sin should not be found among us. God did not like it. It's a reproach to Him. It detests those one that commit sin. But what is my focus this morning? And that's another question that I asked. I asked myself, and I'm also asking the church this morning. He said, what is in my Father's house? I just mentioned what is not in my Father's house, sin. And under sins, we have so many things that are under sins. And I talk about us that how we get sins. Because some sins of immoralities, we cannot be found in the church. So that one we run away from. But other little sins of destroying people's image, talking about people's body, or divisiveness, we tend to be like little sins, and we don't pay attention to that. I am also guilty of that. So, but this morning I'm saying that He doesn't want it in His house. He doesn't want it in His dwelling place, which you are, which I am. So the second question that I'm asking this morning, what is in my Father's in our Father's house. What can we find that? John 14:6, please. John 14:6. He says, Jesus said unto them, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. So in my Father's house this morning, you will find the way because you are in his house. You will find the truth because you are in his house. You will find the life because you are in his house. And who is this way? Who is this truth? Who is this life? Jesus Christ. So whenever you are coming to his presence, know you are here to find God because he is in his Father's house. And here, Power Miracle Center, this morning, God is in his house. This mansion belongs to God that he has prepared for us to dwell in. So Jesus is saying that I am the beginning. I am the middle, the continuity. And also I am the ending. So he is saying to you, because you are in your Father's house today, he is dwelling in. He said, what is that you are going through? I am in here with you. And when we started with you, I will continue with you. And I'm going to end it well with you. Because why? He says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. That's one thing you find in my Father's house. There are so many principles these days. We hear how we learn in this life, such as the 5 principles to make you happier. I don't know. 5 principles to make you slimmer. Some people will not eat. Keto diet today, another diet tomorrow. So many things. Carbonless, proteinless, also many things in life. Something to make you taller. Something to make you richer. You want to be rich on the side, you have to follow this 10th principle. Or more attractive. You want somebody to look at you as women or men, something to do to have a 6-pack or 10 packs, whatever they call it. They put so many principles there to you. But don't get me wrong, these things works. But to certain extent, they all have expiry time to them. Because why? Why do they expire? Why do they have that power? Why is it limited? Because human beings that formulate them are limited to time and to space that they are occupying. We are limited to this century. Some people have attended that in the 20th century, 19th century. But because we are human beings, we are limited to time and to space. So to that present moment. So those principles, those processes are subject to change because people keep learning. They keep testing principles. We have scientists in the house. Why do we have to drive on the right side? Why do we have to wake up? Or why do the kids have to sleep on the left side? When we are growing up, going for maternity, they will tell us, the maternity nurse will tell us, put your child to sleep on their side. But the principal have tested it, that is wrong. But for so many years, people ran with that. Mothers ran with that. Now, they put them on their back. So that's what I'm telling you. Human beings' principle will fail one day. Another principle is going to come. And that is why people are testing hypotheses. You see some scientists in the house to render so many things null and void. So it is now, it is empty. It is vanity without Christ, the truth, the way, and the life. So give you an example, even in my profession. Not quite long, less than 5 years time, they said if you put an IV in somebody like Hepler, you have to change it every 3 days, every 5 days. We ran with that for so many years before they started testing it. That what is happening, what is making people to get sick. So they discovered now that when you put that in a patient, you are giving them drip or whatever, if it doesn't spoil, nothing happens to it, don't change it. As long as it stays in there. Because changing it every time, you are introducing germs to the body system. So, but for so many years, we ran with that. So many people have gotten sick because of some principle that human beings created. So that's why I said, principle from human beings are limited. Those times, I grew up to know a particular church where we are little that do not allow the congregation to have TV in their houses, causing a kind of something that has to do with Satan, the devil box, because of what is on the TV. But these days, when I open TV, when I go on Facebook, this particular church put their stuff out there. Did you see how human beings? Did you see even the doctrine in the churches? Did you see how they could aspire? But somebody will not aspire, and that is the person I'm presenting to you today. Jesus Christ, the truth, the life, and the way. And when you get that, in my Father's house, in his mansion, in this place, in you as his dwelling place. So anything that is not based on Jesus cannot stand forever. So the word of God says, test things, all things, and hold on to the truth, which is Jesus, who does not change. So secondly, what do you find in my Father's house? Prayers. Jesus said, it is written, my house shall be called a house of prayer. Our Father's house is the house of prayer. His dwelling, it is his dwelling place. If you want to know where God said that, Matthew 21:13b, that was where that scripture came out from. The third point, what you can find in our Father's house, in my Father's house, in your Father's house, in his dwelling place, is miracles. The works of wonders, even greater works of wonders. John 14, verse 12, please. John 14, verse 12. So Jesus is talking. When you have the time, go and read that John 14. A lot of things there. John 14, verse 12, please. Thank you. Says, very, very, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, I do shall he do also. And greater works than this shall he do, because I go unto my Father. Jesus said, greater works, which are works of miracle. So in my Father's house, miracles happens. And number 4, solution to our request. Answer in the name of Jesus. Verse 13 of that same Bible verse, 14:13. And whatsoever you ask in my name, that I will give, I will do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. So what is Jesus telling you this morning? What is he saying to me this morning? And anything that I ask in his name, when I believe that he will do it for us, when you come here with your prayer, with your request, there's somebody in his Father's house that is answering our request, our prayer. So we open the mouth every time they ask you to pray and ask him. I just say, Father, in the mighty name of Jesus, do this for me. Because he is in his dwelling place. What is the 5th one? Jesus is our advocate. Let's go to verse 16 of that John 14. It says, and I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter. I think the NIV says advocate, another advocate, that he may abide with you forever. So Jesus is our advocate. Now we have another advocate. So we have double advocate. He said another advocate, another person that is groaning for us, that is pointing to God, that God, it is time to answer my son. It is time to answer my daughter. Give her the bones of her bone. It is time to open that immigration status. Open that file, oh God, and put your stamp on it, so that it will be settled in this land. Because you settled the children of Israel in the land of Goshen. That is what he says. I'm going to give you another advocate. So when you come to my Father's house, know that you are not alone. Jesus is speaking for you. Another advocate, the Holy Spirit, he's speaking for you. So that's what people comes here to testify. And let me tell you this morning, that it doesn't run with numbers. He runs with the heart of the people that know that this is our Father's house. So when we come there, we ask him through the power of the advocate, and we receive it. And so shall it be this morning, that whatever you ask in the name of Jesus, and you stand as the advocate, he is making plea for us in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. Father, we worship you. We thank you. So what will he say? I'm going to go further to verse 18. What is he talking about in my Father's house? Verse 18 says, I will not leave you an orphan. I will come to you. So in my Father's house, in this mansion, in this is dwelling place, you are never fatherless. Amen. You are never fatherless. Amen. He is saying, I am the father of the fatherless. But when you come to his dwelling place, as we are doing this morning, we are never fatherless. He said, I will not leave you as orphans. I will come to you. Amen. I pray that we will not have any orphans in this church in the mighty name of Jesus. Because orphans, what they go through is terrible. They don't have anyone to look for. They don't have anyone looking out for them. They are just alone. God knows the plight of an orphan. And Jesus is telling you, if your case is like a case of an orphan, if your case is so big, you don't even know where to start from. You don't know where to get the morning food. Your job is bleak. You don't even know whether you are standing on one leg or on 2 feet in this country. Daddy says, I will not leave you as an orphan. Amen. I'm not going to leave you as fatherless. Amen. I am with you. He's in that case with you because he does of his people. And because you are his dwelling place, he will not leave you as an orphan. And then we look at the other point that I put here. Peace and assurance. And that's what he says in verse 27. In my Father's house, there is peace and there is assurance. He said, peace I live with you. My peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled. And do not be afraid. The first said, he said, peace. And the last part of the verse, he said, do not be afraid. It's assuring us. That case, do not be afraid, that is sin. That thing in your life, that disease, that thing that is eating you up that you cannot tell more than one or two people, God says, do not be afraid. And Daddy says, what is that thing that is raising its head in your life? What is that is that storm? The Lord said, peace to that storm this morning. Peace to the storm of your loneliness. Peace to the storm that is only you that is carrying your load. Peace to that storm that you look left and right, it was only you. People have tagged you. They have named you. Look at her. She has no husband. Look at her. He has no wife. Look at him. He's an unruly child. He doesn't listen. He doesn't know his failure. Look at. They tag you. They call you the name they can call you. And that is like a storm in your life. And that thing is rolling. Oh Lord, I've been in this marriage. I am looking for the fruit of the womb. That you open my womb, that could be even your storm. Or you have a child that is not listening. Or you have a child that is so challenging in so many areas. Or your job is just disturbing you. Or your leaders, I mean those that are ahead of you that place of work, they are pressing you down. You want to take a step forward. They said no. You want to go life? They said no. But God in his mansion this morning, Jesus in his dwelling place this morning, he's saying to you, peace. Amen. Peace to that thing that is drunk. Peace to that pain and sorrow. Peace to that shame in your life. And my peace I give unto you. I do not give to you as the world giveth to you. But I give to you, God, everlasting peace. Peace without sorrow. Peace that had nothing with you. Because if you go to man, I need you to solve this for me. He said, I will help you, but you pay something back. God has helped us so many times. How many things have we paid back to him? Even to stand here to give testimony is so hard for us. How many times have we caught us check and said, God, this is for you? No, because it's our Father. He has made us promise. And he's keeping to his word. Oh, yes. Because God says, my word, I am not man that lied. Not that my son of man that repent. Whatever I say, they shall surely accomplish that. They will not come to me wrong. So the word of God says, peace I live with you. My peace I give to you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Because as I know before, when I came really, I did my CNA free Red Cross. Within a year after that, someone that went after me was cut off. So at times we have little peace in human being. But God says, it's only peace in me, not as the world gives. So this morning, that's the second point. The other question I'm asking, so how do you enter the Father's house? How do we be in his presence? The first one says, John 3:16, for God so loved the world. We all know that particular chapter. So John 3:16 is how we enter in the praise of God, to his mansion, and how we be his dwelling place. And by knowing Jesus as your personal Lord and Savior. And we can see that, I think it said that also in verse 7 of John, this particular John 14 we are reading, verse 7. Say, know him as your all in all. Know him as the only way to eternity. He said, if you really know me, you know my Father as well. From now on, you know him and have seen him. What he's saying, you have to know me as your personal Lord and Savior, so that you can see my Father. No one comes to God except through Jesus. So why he says that? He has settled the cause. He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. So the second one, how do you enter to my Father's house? Believe in him, that he is the way, the truth, and the life. The third one, have faith in him. Have faith in that thing. Lord, I'm praying for a good job. Lord, I'm praying for you to change my situation. Lord, I'm praying for a good husband. Lord, I'm praying for someone that's going to be like a father to this, my child, or to my children. Lord, I'm praying for help. Lord, I'm praying for immigration status. Lord, I'm praying to have good sources. in my education, in my business, in everything I lay my hands on. I am praying. God says, trust in me. Have faith in me. And that is what Psalm 91 says. He said, Lord, you have been our dwelling place throughout all generations. God is our dwelling place. So when you know that God is your dwelling place, when you know that He is your Father, when you know that here is His dwelling place, when you put everything in His hands, trust Him, have faith in Him, that He can do it. He can change your name. He can move away your shame. He can cover your nakedness. He can turn that sickness into strength for you. He can cover you. He will set you straight. Everything that is wrong in your life, the one that His name is the truth, the one that His name is the way, the one that His name is life. He is in His dwelling place. He is in His Father's house. And this is His Father's house. So you come and have faith and trust in Him. So that you come here and give us the best testimony of our lifetime. Amen. Thank you, Father. We worship you. And that we can see the testimony of our sister. So it was favor. That's faith. It's not what she did. It's not what. But we may have billions that are better. But because she stands in His Father's house, because she knows He is the truth, the way, and the life. And He answers Him. And the last is trust Him with all your heart. He said, everyone there who hears this word of mine, Matthew 7:24, please. Matthew 7:24. Let's see what God says about trusting Him. He said, therefore, everyone who hears this word of mine and put them into practice, he's like a wise man who built his house on the rock. Hear this word this morning and trust God that He is in His dwelling place. He answers prayer. He changes situation. Oh, yes. He makes the slave to sit with the master. I am a testimony. I just started a job 2 weeks ago, and I got into that hall the Monday and the second Tuesday. And I was hearing, I am this, I am that, I am this, I am that. And look at what they have behind their names. So many numbers, so many letters. PhD, DMB, PPD, SSN. And I called them, and I was driving home and I cried. I said, God, what did I get myself into? I said, Daddy, is it not too late to go back to where I was coming? Because how will I do this? How will I direct all these people? How will all this one be answering to me? And I was shaking. And I cried for 40 to 50 minutes driving home. And he came to me and I said, like he was laughing. I know when you apply for this job, I close your heart. And I'm telling you, I never knew when I applied for the job until the day they called me for the interview. And I asked that person, I said, read that name back to me because you got the wrong person. And he said, no, you are. Ayotunde is here. And Samantha, and he mentioned my last name. I said, you got it right. And Holy Spirit just held my mouth, said, don't argue. And I said, what are the days do you have available for me to come for the interview? And he told me, I said, I will choose so and so day. And when I dropped that phone, I rushed quickly to my computer and I opened. And I saw the day that I applied for it. Was the day that I applied for the same position at my place of work, which is a step ahead. I was just asking them to give me a step ahead. But when I was doing that, Holy Ghost, Jesus knows, because He is in His house. He is the truth, the way, and the life. He knows our head, even from the beginning. He saw me. That was the position I just put my resume. I never put my heart to it. I was looking. I was so tired, looking for that just one step. But He said, no, Tola, I will quicken your step. Hallelujah. I will quicken your step. Maybe you are here this day. You are down when He wants to take you. That 20 years that you have lost, that 10 years that no person can come has eaten, that thing you have suffered, He will quicken you. Because He is in His house. Because He is in His house. And when He said that, I said, yes, Daddy, you brought me this job. So you got me. I am not worried. He said, do something. Then I got swagger. And I said, God, you will help me. I will hold on to the hands of your God. That's the woman of issue of blood for 12 years. And you will know that I touched you. And I changed my prayer point. I said, look at your office. How does it look like? And I looked at it, was so massive. But he created a small place for me. So that is your house of prayer. So when I get in the morning before I join, drop my bag. I lay down and say, Father, unto you. Unto you. Because look at all these PhD holders. They are the director holders. They are the director holders. Look at all these PhD. They found this something. But they will do everything. And they will put the paper on my table. So God will do it for you. If you only know how to do it in this place. And in this place, Jesus is there. He is there. In our Father's house. He is there this morning. He is ready to guide you. He is ready to meet you. Then this is my second week. And the chief medical officer turned on to me last Thursday. He said, thank you for taking this job. It is done. We've been looking for someone for so long. They are looking for you somewhere. Your position is somewhere. It has been done somewhere. It has been done somewhere. But God said today, because He is in His dwelling place, He will quicken your step. I am. If I walk 20 or 10 or 15 years, I can't get to that position. It was quicken your step. All those here that we can't call on as eating. He let it help for me. He made a slave as He has made Joseph from the prison to the palace. Your case is like the case of Joseph. He will make you from the prison to the palace. Jesus' mighty name. Oh yes, finally, brethren, heaven is our inheritance. Don't let us forget that. So when Jesus is talking that in my Father's house, there are many mansions there. If it has not been so, I won't have tells you that. Not only is He talking about the present, the one we are in right now. One talks about it. It's also we know that if the tent that is of heaven, and I know before I land up with this verse, I remember I was going through my paper. I don't know. I just laid my hands on one of the textbooks that I've been writing some messages. That was 2013, and Pastor preached and exactly on this, and I took one out. He said, and I remember Pastor preaching on the fourth greatest achievement. That was 2013. I remember it was in November 2013, 6 years ago. 4 greatest achievements. And he said, one of which he said, we must be sure to secure a home in heaven. He said, no matter how many houses you have on earth, you should be secure to have a home in heaven. Because in my Father's house, there are many mansions. I want to be in one of the mansions, and I want you to be in one of the mansions. To make this place the dwelling place of God. Make your life a dwelling place of God. So when you come to His presence, how will you do? And I'm going to round it up by this one. So when you come to the presence of God, He said, enter His gate with thanksgiving. Enter His court with praise, because better is the time you spend in the house of God than the thousands elsewhere. And I'm going to say, I will enter this gate with thanksgiving in my heart. Today is Thanksgiving Day. Better be ready to thank you. When the children of God and thanking Him. Don't let them find you wanting. Make yourself free. Relax in the presence of God, because Jesus got you. And He's going to give you swagger. Now I'll sing. Later, His gate with thanksgiving in my heart. I will enter His